Hello Internet, my name is Tom and this is Rantcast number 9 titled I Will Think of a Title Later. Today I was actually going to do more game footage. I was going to record some Tomb Raider and probably speak about the exact same thing I'm about to speak about, but it didn't want to record properly, and so I'm doing a video podcast, which is probably a bad idea because I probably look absolutely awful on the screen about now, but right now I just wanted to make a video, so I am. And today I want to talk about waste, which is kind of a hypocritical thing for me to be talking about because, as everyone does, I have a lot of waste in my life. I waste power by having an overpowered computer, which I use probably more than half the day. I waste money by buying things I don't need. I waste all sorts of different things, particularly time. But one thing I absolutely cannot stand is people who waste life. Not just their lives, it's just life in general. People who essentially, because they don't do anything to their life, it's almost as if all the other potential lives who could have been, all of the sperm who didn't make it, all of the times when two people almost had sex and didn't, all of the just everything like that, all the potential life, and these people actually make it into the world against a 1,000,000,000 to 1 odds, and they waste their life, which means they waste 1,000,000,000 other potential lives. And sometimes they know they're doing it, sometimes they just don't care, they're too lazy to do anything. Sometimes by doing something with their life they will kind of stop some benefits or stop some money that they kind of like getting for nothing. Other times they don't realise that they are wasting their life. They just don't know what to do. It's like subconsciously they are almost sabotaging their own successes because they've gotten used to the fact that they're not successful or they're not doing something they like. They've almost started rewarding themselves for rewarding themselves for bad things happening or being miserable. And the British in particular are very pro-misery. They like to complain about things, they like to rant about things, they like it when something happens and they can tell people that this bad thing happened to them. But it gets to the point when there is perfectly good opportunities in front of you and you don't take them, or you do something to deliberately make things go the other way, and at that point it's no longer the kind of good old British love of moaning that you get to do. It is almost a masochistic tendency towards failure, and like I said, most people don't even realise they're doing this. They just go through their entire lives thinking they are unlucky or thinking they were never meant to be successful, and the longer this goes on, the more they get into their heads that this is the truth. So it's kind of a vicious cycle, and it's very hard to break out of it even if you realise what's happening. And most people of course don't realise what's happening, and so it's even harder for them to break out of it, because even if someone tells them directly this is what you're doing, they're not going to believe it. They will just carry on with their belief that their life is destined to be unsuccessful. And that's just a terrible shame, that is. It's just you really want them to get productive or get successful, because most of the time they're nice people. I mean, sometimes they're just lazy, but a lot of the time they're nice people who don't understand why they just kind of fool through life and nothing really happens. And eventually it gets to the point where they're either just waiting for something to happen rather than making something happen for themselves, or they just accept it and they just stop caring. They stop caring that they are not happy. It becomes the norm, and people don't like change. Even if it's change for the better, people don't like it, and once something becomes normal to them, they become comfortable with it, they justify it, and at that point they need a lot of persuading to actually change what they're doing with their lives, or how they look at their lives, and believe that they can be successful and they can achieve what they want. And the first step to that really is to actually know what you want, because unless you know what you want, you don't know that what you want isn't what you have. So that's just something which came to me just as I was about to fall asleep a couple of nights ago, and it's something I've been thinking about since, so I don't know where to go from here really. Usually I've got a fairly good understanding of how people work, and I've got some kind of solution as to how you can kind of move away from the rut you're in or something like that. But in this case, when people are so blind to the fact that they don't have what they want, it's impossible to really give them any advice. So yeah, that's something that annoys me, really, because as I said, it's so much potential wasted, it's so much money wasted as well, particularly with the people who are on benefits because they don't want to do anything for their lives. It's taxpayer money wasted, it's money that could be going into healthcare or education or policing or any number really fantastic services, and instead it's fueling people who don't want to do anything, and that's just not fair. It wastes time, it wastes money, it wastes life. So that's about all I have to say today. If anyone's got any suggestions for people who are in this position and don't know it, then feel free to let me know in the comments or through a video or through something like that. Goodbye, Internet.